I guess let's start with a game of freeze. I need 2 volunteers. Faith and Victoria, why don't you guys start us? Let's clap in, guys. All right.
Doctor, I have the paperwork. If you could just sign.
Freeze!
What?
We're not doctors. We're astronauts in outer space. Wait, you have an oxygen mask. Where's your oxygen mask? How are you breathing right now?
I don't know!
Okay, whoa. Okay, things are getting a little out of hand. Why don't we strike this? New scene, same people. So we're gonna get Faith and Victoria. Okay, let's start over. Guys. Okay.
Oh man, this baby should be popping out any minute now, right?
You're telling me, Rhonda,
Yeah.
these Lamaze classes not helping a bit.
Tom.
In fact,
Tom. What are you doing? Tom.
Have you ever acted or wanted to act in a comedy? Or maybe you've been in a film or you've done something in the comedy genre and people don't actually find your work funny or you feel like it's not really working? I want to explain in this video why I think that most actors find it difficult to be funny when they're acting in a comedy. First off, I just want to say I'm not the sensei of comedic acting, but there is something that I've noticed that has helped me, and I feel like it could help a lot of you guys watching. When I think of a comedy, the first thing I think of is like Will Ferrell, Seth Rogen, Adam Sandler, those sorts of films. Those are what most people call comedy films, and they are in that genre, they are funny. But most people like comedies because it's a break from drama, which is when things are believable. People like to have a break from the believable. They want to watch something that's not realistic. Most comedies are made up of stories that wouldn't happen in your everyday world, or people that wouldn't exist in your everyday worlds. Most of the time the plots are ridiculous, the stories are so unbelievable that it's kind of funny because I've never seen anything like that before. Like all those kinds of things make up what we call a comedy because it's something that wouldn't happen in your everyday life. So then that would make dramas more believable, more realistic, and that's how people view those two genres, drama and comedy. So that's drama and that's comedy. But when you have something in the middle, it gets really interesting. And the biggest example of that middle area is probably the Coen Brothers. I reckon everything they make is so on the borderline of funny and serious that it's just so interesting.
All right, just keep it still back there, lady, or else we're gonna have to, to shoot you.
The one thing that I think their films have that you don't see in many other films is that the characters, even if it is meant to be a comedy, the characters are still so believable. In most of their films, you can look at a drama and think it's a comedy.
What time do you go to bed, sir? You're a bit deaf, aren't you? I said, what time do you go to bed?
Somewhere around 9:30. I'd say around 9:30.
And you can watch a comedy of theirs and it looks almost as serious as a drama.
I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a parody of folk music or of that scene. And you can't parody folk music, really. It's funny enough all by itself.
It's like this middle gray area that's really interesting to watch, but it's not just the filmmaking, even though that's so important. I feel like it's not just that, it's the acting. They cast the perfect actors for their roles because that's like literally 90% of the humor in it, how weird these people are. And I think Coen Brothers are just so good at finding the humor in the everyday things that we don't actually notice. They act so believable that it's funny.
Comedy for me at its best is when you're so invested in watching someone portray a character that in a weird way, I know when something's really funny to me, I don't even laugh. I just watch it and go, oh my gosh, how are they doing that?
So maybe for you, when you have acted in comedy, you can tell that you change a bit, and you can tell that like your realism goes out the door and you kind of adopt this whole new, crazy, wild comedic persona. Because if the scene you're in was actually a real situation, people don't try to be funny the way you are. People don't often say the punchlines of a joke so obviously in real life. It's just the subtleties that are like really interesting to watch when you're watching a comedy or a film that is funny. And for me, I've noticed in my work when I act, the more realistic it is, the funnier it is, because there's more, the little nuances that come out when you're being real is what's funny.
And action.
So it all started on a Friday afternoon. Excuse me. very rude.
Cut.
When I acted in this, I had to get out of my mind that this character wasn't real. Like, to me, he felt real. To me, I had to know that this person would actually make normal decisions. He's not trying to be funny. This is actually how he acts, and that's what makes it funny. This character would actually talk, think, and behave this way. And right now, I might not find it funny, but if I was watching this, I think it's kind of funny. So what I'm trying to say is, whether you're in a drama or you're in a comedy, you don't have to switch your style of acting. Still be realistic, still be the character. You don't have to change the way you say a line because you know it's a comedy and you have to be funny. No, just like be realistic, and the writing and the direction and the way you prepare for the role should turn it into something that's funny to watch at the end. In a Coen Brothers film, the individuality of the character is funny enough. You don't have to try and say the lines right. Just be the character, give you a version of the character that you were meant to play, that you were born to play. So on that note of individuality, next week I'm going to be making a video on how being individual will land you roles. Like, you can be cast more if you use your differences to your advantage. So make sure you subscribe for that video next week. Turn the notification bell on. So if you can like this video, that would be amazing. If you have something to say, feel free to write a comment. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.